Alright, don't get me wrong, I love a good action movie. I mean, nothing gets my blood pumping like slow-mo shootouts, a bald guy jumping out of a helicopter, and a revolver that apparently holds 100,000 rounds. So today, we're gonna set the record straight. No stunt doubles. Strap in, lock up your popcorn, or strap in your I don't know. Get ready to unlearn everything Michael Bay's ever taught you about guns, because Buck Tanner's coming in hot, and we brought receipts. Alright, first up, this one always gets under my skin faster than a mosquito at a barbecue in June. Every movie spy and hitman is out here pew-pewing their suppressed pistols like they're shooting airsoft in a library. Meanwhile, the rest of us who've actually fired one know the truth. Suppressors do not make your gun quiet. They make it less loud. There is a big difference. They take the sharp crack of a gunshot and turn it into more of a deep thump, but we're still talking around 130 decibels. That's louder than your rock concert, louder than your cousin's lifted truck with no muffler, and definitely loud enough to scare every squirrel out of your backyard. Now, yeah, suppressors are real handy for protecting your hearing, especially in confined spaces. They reduce muzzle flash and make it a little tougher for folks to pinpoint where the shot came from, but you ain't sneaking through hallways dropping bad guys silently like in movies unless they've all got AirPods in and noise cancellation cranked, which is that's actually pretty plausible nowadays. Anyways, the next time some dude at the range starts whispering about how he wants a movie quiet suppressor, just pat him on the shoulder, hand him an earpod, and maybe a physics test book. Let me tell you right now, if shotguns actually launched folks across the room like we see in movies, I'd be strapping one to my lawn chair and riding that sucker to the grocery store. Movies love to show people getting absolutely yeeted across a room from one blast of a 12 gauge. Limbs flying, furniture breaking, bodies flying like ragdolls in a video game glitch. But in reality, nah, Chief, that ain't how Newton's third law works. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Meaning, if that shotgun had enough juice to send a 200-pound man flying through drywall, it'd also launch the shooter into orbit. Now, I'm not saying shotguns don't pack a wallop, because they do. The recoil can bruise your shoulder, especially if you're holding it wrong or trying to be a tough guy in a tank top. But the energy that they deliver is spread out. Pellets, not sledgehammers. It's meant to penetrate, not punch. Pause. Hey, yo, chill! So when someone takes a hit, they drop, sure, but they don't fly through 3 windows and a coffee table first. And if you ever have seen someone fly backwards from a shot, congrats, you're watching a stuntman earn his paycheck and defy the laws of physics at the same time. Now, I don't know who's supplying ammo in action movies, but they must have some magical bottomless government-funded Glock ferry floating around, because those folks just keep firing. Scene after scene after scene. No reloading, no stoppage. Just a full auto pew fest that lasts longer than my uncle's second divorce hearing. And that was a week. Now in the real world, magazines hold a finite number of rounds. And if you're shooting fast, you burn through them real quick. Reloading ain't optional, it's constant. In fact, in real life shootouts, folks sometimes don't even remember how many times they've fired because they were too busy swapping mags and trying not to die. Even trained operators take a few seconds to reload under pressure, and let me tell you, that feels like forever when your heart's pounding and rounds are flying. So when you do see a guy dual-wielding AKs and mopping up henchmen for 5 straight minutes without a single mag drop, well, you're watching a fantasy, not tactics. Ain't nothing cool about dry firing in a gunfight, because you believed Keanu doesn't reload. Reloading is gritty, it's awkward, and sometimes the difference between going home or going down. And no, there ain't no dramatic slow-mo while you do it. Usually just a lot of heavy breathing and praying you didn't drop your last mag in a puddle. Alright, now this one here, this is where the ego takes over. Every action hero in history has done it. One hand in a pistol, sometimes 2, walking forward through explosions, not blinking, not flinching, not even pretending that recoil is real. Real smooth, real heroic, real dumb. I mean, I get it, one hand in a pistol looks cool on screen, but in real life, it's kind of a fast track to shooting dirt and disappointing your firearms instructor. You got no recoil control, your aim is off, your grip's unstable. And unless you've trained that way for a reason, which let's be honest, most of us haven't, you're just burning ammo and hoping the bad guy's feeling generous. Two-handed grip exists for a reason. It gives you better stability, better accuracy, and stronger stance when things get spicy. It's what we teach new shooters, it's what pros use, and it's what you fall back on when your muscles are tired, your adrenaline's dumping, and your brain's going full raccoon into dumpster mode. Now sure, there are times you might have to shoot one-handed. Injured arm, opening the door, carrying a cheeseburger, but That's not plan A, that's plan Z. So no, you don't look like a badass when you do it casually, you just look like someone who's watched too many reruns of 24 and thought Jack Bauer was a documentary. You ever see a bad guy in a movie catch a bullet and suddenly he's airborne like a sack of potatoes on a trampoline? Arms flailing, bodies flying, dramatic music swelling. Yeah, that's movie magic. In the real world, bullets don't come with a built-in trebuchet. Now don't get me wrong, a bullet can end a fight real fast, but what it doesn't do is turn people into human crash test dummies flying through drywall. Now I know we talked about this specifically with the shotguns, but sometimes even with pistols. A 9mm round ain't got enough force to launch a grown man across a room. If it did, the shooter would fly back too. And nobody's flying anywhere but the ER with a dislocated shoulder. The human body drops when it's hit because of shock, blood loss, or their legs giving out. That's it. If someone hits the floor hard, it ain't because the bullet body slammed them. It's because biology said nope. So next time a movie villain gets blown back 20 feet from a single chest shot, just know that's not physics, that's drama school. Ooh, this one right here, it's pure Michael Bay. Hollywood wants you to believe that second a pistol hits pavement, it's gonna go full firework finale. Toss a rifle down, boom. Drop a Glock, boom. Shoot a car, double boom. And all I gotta say is, it is ridiculous enough to be entertaining. But real steel, real guns? They're built tougher than a Marine's coffee mug. Modern firearms are required by law to pass drop safety tests. That means that if they get slammed, dropped, whacked, or bounce harder than your cousin Randy during rodeo tryouts, well, they're not going to fire unless the trigger gets pulled. You can throw your sidearm across a garage and all it'll do is scuff the paint and hurt your pride. And guns exploding from being shot? Buddy, bullets are tiny. You shoot a loaded gun, most of the time it's just going to get dinged up or maybe damaged internally, but it ain't going to go full action movie unless you're shooting at it with an anti-tank round and a prayer. Even then, most of the boom is Hollywood sound design and a gas can off camera. Unless you're walking around with an 1850s flintlock packed with lawn fertilizer, well, your modern carry ain't gonna blow up from a sneeze or a stumble. Every movie hero worth their protein powder's done it. One gun in each hand, walking into battle like it's a 2003 video game. It looks awesome. Makes a really cool poster, but let me tell you, if you try that in real life, you'll hit everything except your target. See, shooting's about control, about accuracy, and unless both your hands are the arms of an octopus trained in firearm fundamentals, dual wielding is just spray and pray with extra wrist pain. You got no support hand on either pistol, which means your recoil control's in the toilet. Your sights are floating around like they're on a sugar high, and you're probably crossing yourself up trying to aim two separate things at once. I mean, most shooters, they train real hard just to shoot one pistol well under pressure, and adding a second one don't make you twice as deadly. It just makes you twice as dangerous to your own foot. It's all flash and no follow through. Tactical ain't theatrical, and range day ain't Fortnite. Ah yes, the classic scope through scope kill shot. Two snipers, one bullet. Dramatic zoom in and boom, deadly eye contact and instant fatality. Let me stop you right there, partner. That's a 1 in a billion shot made by a CGI intern. Little dweeb by the name of Nedry, who's eating 30 Snickers bars. Anyways, real sniper scopes are made of multiple layers of glass, heavy-duty housing, and some real thick coatings. You'd have to hit the exact center of that glass in perfect alignment with enough force to not just shatter the scope, but keep the round deadly on the other side. That's not shooting, that's lottery odds with a trigger. Now sure, there was that one recorded incident, Vietnam era, where a sniper reportedly did pull this off. But even that's debated, and it wasn't through a scope lens, it was through the scope housing with a 50 caliber from crazy close range. You know what that is? An outlier, not a tactic. Snipers don't just sit around hoping for mirror shots, they calculate wind drift, bullet drop, spin stabilization, humidity, the price of eggs, everything. It's science, it's patience, and it's boring math. Ain't no curved bullets, ain't no magic eye lasers, just good old precision and a whole lot of range time. Alright, this one's got more movie mileage than Vin Diesel on Family Power. You've seen it, hero shoots a gas can, a whole truck goes up in a fireball big enough to summon a weather alert. Look, I get it. Explosions are sick. I mean, that's real satisfying stuff, but here's the deal. Bullets don't just light stuff on fire. A regular old lead core bullet goes through gasoline like a hot knife through sweet tea. It don't spark, it don't heat up enough, and it sure as heck don't create insta-flames. What you need is a tracer round, which has a literal burning element on the back end, or you'd need to hit something already sparky, maybe a metal-on-metal ricochet if the stars align and Elvis comes back. But your average bullet ain't doing it. Gasoline ain't dynamite, it's the vapors that catch fire, not the liquid. So unless you're shooting into a perfectly mixed fuel-air soup cloud on a dry day with a flare gun, duct taped to your wishful thinking, you're just making a mess and wasting ammo. Now this one. This one's gym class levels of delusional. Every movie cop's out there sprinting across rooftops, doing parkour off abandoned taxis, and still somehow landing headshots while flopping around like a caffeinated lemur. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Even trained operators, the folks who live at the range and can field trip a pistol in the dark, struggle with real accuracy on the move. That's why they teach you to move, then shoot, not both at once. Trying to shoot while running is like trying to thread a needle on a roller coaster. You want to add jumping? Well, you might as well close your eyes and wish upon a star. Go ahead, Mickey Mouse. Your body's bouncing, your sights are shaking, and your breathing's shot to heck, and your fingers twitchier than a squirrel on pre-workout. You ain't John Wick, son. You're just sending rounds into the dirt and praying you don't hit Aunt Patty's car 2 streets over. Shooting while moving is possible with serious training and tight discipline, but those movie mid-air slow-mo backflip kill shots, that is editing and caffeine, not reality. Alright, let's put this Die Hard 2 myth to rest once and for all, because it's dumber than a box of hair and somehow still floats around. Glocks are not plastic ghosts. They are not invisible to airport scanners. They don't sneak through TSA like some kind of stealth Nerf blaster. A standard Glock's around 84% metal. Got a steel slide, a barrel, internals. You know, the stuff that makes it go bang. That polymer frame is, sure, it's fancy plastic, but it's a frame. TSA scanners ain't fooled by it, and neither's anyone with a magnet. This nonsense came from a line Bruce Willis said in a script written by someone whose entire gun knowledge came from a comic book and a dream. Even back in the 80s, Glocks were flagged by metal detectors just fine. If anything, they look scarier to screeners because of their shape. So no, you ain't gonna sneak your Glock onto a plane because it's all plastic, and if you try, well, I hope you enjoy the back room at the airport and a very personal pat-down from a man named Carl with zero sense of humor. Oh, and he's out of latex gloves. Good luck. Kicking doors and popping locks with a single shot, now that is classic Hollywood tough guy action. One bullet and boom, the deadbolt shatters, the door swings open, and justice walks in. Except that ain't how it works, sport. Most locks, especially deadbolts and commercial grade ones, are made to resist way more than a 9mm kiss on the forehead. You shoot one and odds are that bullet's just passing through the soft parts and doing nothing to the actual mechanism. Now, you might be running armor-piercing rounds and know exactly where to hit, the door's still locked, and guess what, now it's mad. Even with shotguns, breaching doors requires special techniques and ammo. It still takes practice too. You can't just mag dump your way into a warehouse like a video game. All that does is waste bullets, alert every soul within earshot, and you'll still be standing outside sweaty and confused. So unless your bullets are magic keys, keep the door kicking to train folks and maybe invest in a good crowbar instead. Look, I get it. Action movies taught us that if things go sideways, just duck behind a car door and boom, you're safe. The metal panel? That's your bulletproof shield now. Except no, not even close. Car doors are made to stop rain and keep your coffee from spilling, not bullets, especially not rifle rounds. Even pistols can punch through most modern car doors like they're made of soda cans. I mean, think about it. You're hiding behind a thin sheet of aluminum, some wires, and a whole lot of wishful thinking. Now, engine blocks? That's a real cover. Tires? Some protection depending on the angle, but the driver door? That's just you crouching behind false hope when somebody reloads. I mean, if concealment's all you got, sure, take it, but don't think for a second that thing's gonna stop lead. It's concealment, not cover. Big difference. One keeps you out of sight, the other one keeps you alive. Man, movies love their ricochets. Every missed shot suddenly becomes a deadly ping-pong ball of doom bouncing off pipes, walls, and steel beams until it finds the nearest henchman. Sound effects go ping, pew, pew, and somebody drops dead. But in real life, ricochets, I mean, they can happen, but they're rare and they don't do acrobatics. Most of the time, bullets hit a solid surface and either flatten, splatter, or embed. For a ricochet to occur, the angle's got to be shallow, the surface hard, and the bullet velocity just right. And even then, the bullet usually loses a ton of energy and flies off in some wonky, unpredictable direction, not a perfect deadly line. So no, you're not going to shoot a wall and accidentally wipe out 6 bad guys behind a corner, and you sure as hell ain't curving bullets through plumbing like you're running the steel version of Candy Crush. Yeah, special shout out to the movie Wanted for this one. You gave the entire generation an idea that snipers can flick their rifles like magic wands and Harry Potter and send bullets curving around buildings. I hate to break it to you, but the only curve in real long-range shooting comes from boring old gravity, wind, and math that makes your brain sweat. Real snipers account for bullet drop, wind drift, spin drift, Coriolis effect if they're shooting far enough, but none of that makes a bullet change direction mid-air. Ain't no Jedi mind trick, no secret wrist flick, just physics and a whole lot of trigger discipline. You can't curve a bullet. What you can do is train your tail off, dial your scope right, and compensate for every variable nature throws at you. It's hard, it's slow, and it's the opposite of sexy, but it's real. And that's what separates the movie magic from real-world marksmen. But there you have it. Gun movie myths busted like a soda scan at a skeet shoot. Guns ain't magic wands, bullets don't bend, and nobody's flying through walls unless physics takes the day off. Listen, if you learned something today or just enjoyed watching Hollywood get roasted, smash the like button harder than a recoil on a short barrel .308. Subscribe for more no-nonsense, freedom-fueled truth. This is Buck Tanner signing off. Stay sharp, shoot straight, and never trust a guy who dual wields pistols in skinny jeans.